So Egypt is kicking off what might be one of the most ambitious energy hunts we've seen in modern history. They're searching for colossal oil and gas reserves hidden deep beneath their land and their seas. In this explainer, we're going to break down the absolutely unprecedented scale, the futuristic tech they're using, and the enormous economic stakes of this whole national quest.
To really get your head around the scale of this thing, you have to start with this number: 95,000 square kilometers. That is the area Egypt is covering in what is currently the largest seismic survey happening anywhere in the world. To put that into perspective for you, it's an area larger than the entire country of Jordan. Just let that sink in.
And believe me, the ambition doesn't stop with the survey size. The plan is to drill over 100 exploratory wells, all within a single year, 2026. This is a pace that's just completely unheard of for the region, and it signals a massive acceleration in Egypt's hunt for energy.
So, this colossal effort, it really brings up a crucial question, right? Is Egypt on the verge of uncovering a historic treasure, a true game changer for its economy? Or is this more of a final, high-stakes attempt to close a growing energy gap? Well, the answer really lies in the technology that's making all of this possible. So, how on earth do you find resources buried thousands of meters underground without just, drilling randomly and hoping for the best? It all starts with a technology called a seismic survey. Think of it like a giant ultrasound for the planet. That's really the best analogy. A seismic survey is a technique that uses sound waves to create an incredibly detailed map of what the Earth's crust looks like, miles below our feet.
The process itself is fascinating, but it's pretty simple in concept. First, you send controlled sound waves down into the ground. Then, you listen for the echoes that bounce back off of all the different rock layers. By analyzing how long it takes for those echoes to return, geologists can build a 3D map of the subsurface and pinpoint the specific geological structures where oil and gas are most likely to be trapped.
And this right here, this represents a fundamental shift in energy exploration. In the past, it was often a huge gamble, almost like drilling blind, with super high risks, high costs, and honestly, a very low success rate. Today, with advanced 3D and even 4D seismic maps, decisions are driven by immense amounts of data. This significantly reduces the financial risk and dramatically increases the chances of a successful find.
But the real game changer here is artificial intelligence. The sheer volume of data from a 95,000 square kilometer survey is just impossible for humans to analyze effectively. AI algorithms can sift through these massive data sets, identify incredibly complex patterns, and predict potential drill sites with an accuracy we've just never seen before. And this technological leap is exactly what's giving major international investors the confidence to pour money into Egypt's exploration efforts.
Okay, so with this powerful new technology in hand, where exactly is Egypt focusing its historic hunt? Well, the strategy is unfolding on two very different but equally important fronts. But first, a little bit of important context. People often wonder, why Egypt? It's surrounded by energy-rich nations. Why wasn't it a bigger player sooner? The answer is its complex geology. Egypt sits on this massive, messy tectonic intersection riddled with faults that make exploration extremely challenging and require far more sophisticated tools than its neighbors need.
All right, the first front in this hunt is the vast western desert. The strategy here isn't about finding one single giant field. It's what you'd call a cumulative approach. The goal is to find numerous small to medium-sized reserves that, when you add them all together, build a really powerful and stable production network. Because this area is so close to existing pipelines, even small discoveries are economically viable. And this approach is already paying off. Just last year, in 2025, they announced 17 new discoveries in this region alone.
The second front, well, it's a completely different game. We're going from the desert out into the deep waters of the eastern Mediterranean. And here, the hunt is on for the big prize. This is high-risk, high-reward territory. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates this basin could hold a staggering 122 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Recent maritime border agreements have opened up new, unexplored areas, and technology now lets them drill in water more than 2,000 meters deep. The plan to drill 14 of these deep-water wells here in 2026 shows you just how serious Egypt is about tapping this massive potential. So, we've got the technology, and we've got the strategy, but why is Egypt pushing so hard right now? The answer is simple. The economic stakes are absolutely enormous. At the heart of this whole push is a fundamental problem. For years, Egypt's natural gas consumption has been outpacing its production.
This creates an energy gap that forces the country to import expensive gas, especially during those peak summer months. So this entire national project is designed to close that gap for good.
The potential economic transformation here is immense. If they're successful, Egypt could save billions of dollars it's currently spending on imports. It could shift from being a net importer back to a major energy exporter, particularly to Europe. And that, in turn, would fuel local industries, create a ton of new jobs, and fundamentally improve the country's entire economic outlook.
And this isn't just a domestic dream. The fact that global energy service giants, I'm talking about companies like Schlumberger and Halliburton, are key partners in this massive seismic survey, well, that shows some deep international confidence in Egypt's potential and its data-driven strategy.
So, where does this all lead? Is Egypt on the brink of becoming a new energy giant?
You know, this quote really captures the essence of Egypt's modern energy philosophy. The country isn't betting everything on finding another single massive field like Zohr, which was that giant Mediterranean gas discovery from 2015. Instead, it's building a more resilient future based on a smart, cumulative strategy of many different discoveries, both large and small.
Of course, the path forward isn't guaranteed. Success is really going to depend on maintaining the momentum of investment, continuing to adopt the latest AI and drilling technologies, and ensuring transparency throughout the whole process to keep both partners and the public confident.
And this leaves us with one final critical question. If this historic hunt is as successful as all the data suggests it could be, well, finding the energy is only the first step. The bigger challenge will be this. Is Egypt ready to harness its newfound wealth for the benefit of all its people? That remains the ultimate test.